What's truly terrifying is we've been through whatever his name from Shazam being on Fox, being like, yo, Elon. And again, Elon. Like, he knows who's in charge. These cuts you're making to the government, you're firing MAGA. Like, we agreed. MAGA voted for you so you would punish the liberals and minorities. We were supposed to be the chosen ones. What are you doing? I mean, bad enough that you go on national television to shame your new leader. Like, dude, you have not studied history. Critics, especially loud critics of the new regime, they end up in work camps. Run. But they've started to have interviews with these employees who've been let go. Because apparently the media can find the people who were working on the nukes, but the White House can't. Which speaks so well of, like, HR, the FBI. You couldn't have stopped by at least to ask the security guard at the gate, like, was he a tall or a short man? Like, was he wearing, like, does he drive a truck? But they have found several of these employees across the country, like, hey, now that you've lost your job, and they're all like, I didn't realize that would be me. I mean, I voted for Trump, but, like, wink, wink. We knew I wasn't losing my job. It was all the other losers. And then even, what's his name over at Fox? The one who can't suck through a straw because that might make him gay. He got a call from one of his friends, and on air, he's talking about, like, okay, like, yeah, maybe you do have to let some MAGA go, but not veterans. Veteran MAGAs? Like, they should get priority over all other MAGAs. Like, let's start ranking the MAGAs you can fire, because let's be honest, you're gonna have to fire them, but, like, I was like, so, like, disfigured veterans? Veterans with low rankings or honorable discharge. Like, oh, this is gonna get twice as complicated. But I love, like, that's their logic. Like, they even admit, like, oh, no, we knew the whole time MAGA was getting fired. But, here on Fox and Friends, we'll ask that you give veterans priority over all other MAGAs, because veteran MAGAs are clearly better than the others. What a way to start division in the team! But you have these interviews with these employees who were just like, I don't understand, I got good reviews, I was doing my job, this is my dream job, I voted for Trump, but like... And they're all basically saying the same thing, I didn't think I would lose my job. And the underlying tone you get with half of them is like, I thought I was gonna be boss of the department. Like, what the hell happened? I was like the junior hire, but there's all these liberal Democrats above me? This is how we clear out the boomers. And yet, now that they're like, well, what are you going to do now that you lost your job? It's like, I don't know, I guess I'll unemployment and, I'll figure it out. So it's finally somewhat dawning on you that DOGE doesn't give a shit about you. Like, MAGA was dumb enough to vote Elon in. They spelled all this shit out for you in Project 2025. They hid not one thing. This would be like at a wedding if the groom had stood up and been like, here is a absolute list of all my crimes, all the things, all your friends who I've thought about even remotely just, like tapping that. And here's all the things as a future husband that I'm definitely not going to do in the house. And you still standing up there and being like, I do. He's gonna be the bestest husband. Like, he's now cheated on you with your best friend on your honeymoon, and you're still like, oh, but maybe he just didn't realize that we were married. Like, it was big and there were a lot of flashing lights. Maybe he's just a little confuddled. He would never. Oh, he would. DOGE gives not an F about you. You are part of the 99%, and DOGE is part of the 0.1%. The 1% still thinks they're safe, and, well, it's gonna be fun watching them catch on. I mean, Kim Kardashian trying overtime to help Elon sell Cybertrucks. When it gets round to it, you won't be safe either. Anywho, they've accepted that they've been let go. They maybe see that that was an error on their part, because, the interviewer is like, do you see where Elon said he was going to be gutting the government, and do you see how you were part of the government? And like, oh, maybe. But they still haven't connected the other dot. Unemployment? You think Elon's going to leave that alone for very much longer? Medicare? They're already taking away telehealth starting, I think it's March 1st. Job-seeking programs? Those have already been cut, right? You haven't thought down the line of this is a government waste, and this is a government cut, and this is a government cut, and yeah, those $8,000 checks are not coming. Y'all can sit by the mailbox on February 30th, but no, you're not getting an $8,000 check from Elon personally. Maybe in Trump Bitcoin, and I wish you luck trying to spend that, but no. But the very people who have officially lost their jobs due to DOGE, who thought they were safe, who are now officially unemployed in the most douchebaggy way, still haven't realized their pain and suffering is not over. All those other benefits, all those other social nuts that would have caught you now that you're unemployed, are going away too. There was one woman who worked for something sciency, and they interviewed her, and she's from a really rural part of Alabama, and now she's like, I'm here. I'm bringing on massive debt every day because I can't pay my rent, I can't pay my stuff. And the interviewer was like, oh, so you're going to move back home? And she's like, yeah, well, maybe I'll get a job teaching. And I'm like, at the Department of Ed? Whew, you really haven't thought through, and this is just the first few chapters of Project 2025. There's multiple chapters. We're only a few in. The absolute cognitive dissonance of like how bad you've screwed yourselves. And they're getting on camera. Like somehow Elon is gonna see this interview and be like, Amelia? Amelia, we didn't mean to fire you. You're MAGA. No, instead Elon got on stage yesterday with a chainsaw and then got into a poopy head fight with a Danish astronaut. And you notice how nobody has come to save you. The 200,000 and counting of you, at least half of which are MAGA, who seriously still think you're gonna get a call like, we didn't mean it. Get back to the office, double the pay. You're in charge now. Wake the fuck up. You railed against government subsidies. You voted against your own best interest. You absolutely were the first line of getting screwed in all this. And you still think they're coming to save you. Good luck applying for that teaching job. Oh, I've got some bad news about Cobra, too. You know that whole Obamacare thing? I'll tell you tomorrow. It might be a little easier for you.